Hello from Jerry Richardson Indoor Stadium. This is the Coach Jimmy Garrity Show, brought to you by Budweiser of Spartanburg and Yokohama. The first place Wofford Terriers are in the stretch run, man. Just 4 more games till Southern Conference tournament play. Jimmy Garrity, once again, you're the hunted rather than the hunters, but you guys have done so well to get to this point. All-time school record, tying the all-time record for victories with 4 more games to go. Yeah. How do you feel about the gang at this juncture of the season?
Well, I mean, I feel great. I've told them all year long that this group has been, the word I keep coming up is impressive. Mm-hmm. Like, they've been impressive. And you know, to be where we're at, it's just a lot of hard work, and give them all the credit for putting in the work and coming to play and practice day in and day out. But you're right. It is going to be a tough 4-game stretch. So, you know, it's the top half of the league. So obviously we're going to have to play our absolute best to get any type of wins.
Well, coming up, we'll recap a very, very gritty win over Wofford's arch rival once again. A couple of other great moments, and the Final Four, a couple of big road games, and then ending the season at home here in Spartanburg. It is all coming up next here on the Coach Jimmy Garrity Show.
You can always count on the crisp, refreshing taste of Bud Light, just like you can always count on Always Game Gary. No bar is too far. No wing sauce is too hot. Not for Gary. Gary is the man. He's nothing like Keith. Keith never wants to do anything. Why are we even talking about Keith? Always Game Gary is famous among friends. He deserves a Bud Light. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB St. Louis, Missouri.
Behind every adventure is the road that got you there. Behind every passion are the tools that make it happen. And behind every Ford truck and SUV is a Carolina Ford dealer going the extra mile, finding the vehicle you're looking for. It's our commitment to your journey. That's what it means to be true blue. New inventory is arriving daily. For great offers on a new Ford truck or SUV, go to buyfordnow.com or see your Carolina Ford dealer today.
Welcome back. A couple of Saturdays ago in Greenville at the big arena, Wofford took on arch rival Furman. They were ready for you. You guys have put a pretty good beating on them in Spartanburg, and this was the proverbial rock fight. Great defensive effort. I thought Furman came out with a lot of intensity. Yeah. Somehow, some way, the Terriers willed their way to a 3-point win. What did that effort mean to you?
Well, we told them it doesn't matter. You know, throw out all records. The rivalry. They're really good. They're really talented. They are physically strong. They did an unbelievable job on the boards. And yeah, down the stretch, we just somehow made enough plays to get the victory. But again, it started with the first quarter, second quarter, and then it just kept leading up. And then we had a decent lead, didn't shoot as well down the stretch on the free throw line, but had some really good defensive efforts that we got enough stops to come away with the win.
I'm sitting behind your bench during that game, watching you react to some of the things going on, and sometimes you can put all the pieces in the right positions and the shots don't fall. How do you keep a somewhat poker face and keep encouraging everybody when you know they're giving their all, but it's just not happening?
Yeah, it's not like we try to miss shots, right? And so you got to be, there's a fine line to that you want to balance with still encouraging them. But let them know, guess what? We need you.
Right.
But hey, if that's your shot that you've taken 1,000 times and made tons of those shots, you got to keep shooting them, and eventually they'll go down. And they started to fall a little bit late in the half.
There was a long list of heroes in that game. Rachel Rose had 22 points, a career high 8 assists. Jackie Carmen was Jackie Carmen with 22 points. I thought you got a huge lift from Helen Matthews defensively. What a warrior. She left it all out on the court that day.
We've talked about that all year long, right? She's that piece that is just always in the right place defensively. She gets rebounds. I'd love to stat how many points that we don't give up because of her, because she's just in the right spot. 50-50 ball she goes after, and you mentioned a couple other people. Jackie's 3 that she hit as the shot clock was winding down. I mean, that thing was huge from about 25 feet. And then Rachel kept finding a way to get to the paint and get paint touches and score. So, give the whole team. It was our bench was off the charts.
Jesse
great.
Parrish, especially in that game.
Oh, she came in and gave us a huge spark. I think we only made 3 threes all game long, and she had 2 of them in the first half. So with 10 points, double digits, so she was absolutely huge.
So you go from that big win in Greenville and sweep the season series from Furman, and then you come back home against UNC Greensboro. Did that Furman game take anything out of you? It's hard to get up for every game emotionally, and Greensboro's a very good team. They're right there with you in the conference standings. They came in to Spartanburg, and it was a good game. It was a tough game. Did you guys have just maybe not enough gas in the tank down the stretch?
I mean, we were without Hell in that game,
Right.
that kind of hurt us because she does so many. The way Greensboro plays, and they beat us on the boards, and just having her out there was a big loss. But again, we came in. It was really similar to the game we played in Greensboro, back and forth. If anybody got a 6-point lead, it just seemed huge. And it was tied, I think, with a couple minutes to go, and then they scored 2 big buckets, but got 2 stops at the other end. And that's kind of was the script when we played them there, but except for it was on, for us. So again, just a really good team. They're well balanced, well coached, and they just made more plays down the stretch than we did.
So you got to bounce back from that 4-point loss at home. And you do that in great style against Western Carolina, a team that had beaten you up in Cullowhee in a tough game. But boy, this was a fun one to watch because Lily Hatton notches career point number 1,000. You get your 17th win of the season. As I said earlier, you tie up a school record. Let's start with Lily, and we've talked about everything she means to this team in terms of leadership. But to see a player get a career milestone like that, we saw it with Jackie earlier. It's a big deal.
And her teammates were so happy for her. And to be honest with you, I don't even look at that stuff. So I really had no idea Wyatt kept our bench informed, so our assistant coaches knew. But I subbed her out not knowing, but she had just scored it, and I'm glad that she had just scored it. Yeah, right. Didn't even realize that. But yeah, it was just celebrating that with her. She's been a tremendous student athlete and great representative of our program.
I thought the crowd was a big deal in that Western Carolina game, too.
They were off the charts. I always go back and watch it on the ESPN version, and to see the camera towards the sidelines and showing the stands, they helped us win, and they were loud, and there was a bunch of them in there. So, and our girls love playing in front of that type of crowd.
Well, we've got a few more opportunities for that down the stretch, but when we come back, we're going to talk about a crucial road trip coming up for the Terriers beginning this week. It's next here on the Jimmy Garrity Show, brought to you by Budweiser of Spartanburg and Yokohama Tires.
Black and gold. Bold. A victory story about to be told. Grit, toughness, and tenacity. A hub of hard work in Hub City. We're on these wins like dogs on a bone. In the zone. Our place, in your face, won't leave you alone. Strength, speed, fire, true. I'm sorry, do these things trouble you? We're Wofford College. We fly the W. Ingalls, proud partner of the Wofford Terriers.
It doesn't matter if you're active on the road or in the gym. Your body is your strongest tool. Spartanburg Regional Sports Medicine Institute is here to push you to the next level. With partnerships across Spartanburg County schools, we're here when it happens. We diagnose, treat, and heal at the Sports Medicine Institute to get you back and active, in the gym, in the game, and to the next level. We never quit because you never quit.
Think big. Something life-changing. I'm talking education. Let's get inventive. Blow things up in a good way. Do it for 20 years? Wake up and education has received billions in funding. Who does all this? If you've ever played one of these or these, that would be you. Yeah, thank you.
And welcome back to the Coach Jimmy Garrity Show. I am Jim Noble. Well, the schedule makers did you a lot of favors down the stretch. You have got your work cut out for you. Wofford, of course, is tied for first place, but you go on the road, ETSU and Chattanooga coming up this weekend. boy, this is Chattanooga's right there in the conference standings with you. ETSU can play great at any given time. Talk about these two. You're on the road, so you're together, but boy, what a daunting road trip.
Well, no doubt. Like the league as a whole is really, really good, and these guys are in the top half of the league. And Brooks Gymnasium is one of the toughest places to play in the league. It's loud in there. They'll have a great crowd. They've had a fantastic season. They guard really well. They're super talented. They're at 1 through 5, and then coming off the bench. They're definitely one of the best teams in the league. And then, of course, Chat after that. And Chat's had a fantastic year. Coach Poppy's done an unbelievable job. And, again, they've got a lot of talent in Chattanooga. So both those road games are going to be extremely tough. And, I mean, we're going to have to make shots, take care of the ball, and really play our best to have a chance to win.
How's your overall health team-wise right now? This is the time of year where everybody's fighting something, bumps and bruises. How do you feel about your rotation? Are you able to feel like you're at full strength?
Yeah, I mean, I think we are. Again, in this last probably 3 weeks, to be honest, we haven't gone live very much because of that reason. We've had a couple people dinged up or whatever, health-wise. So you want to keep them healthy down the stretch. So we're going a lot of lighter work in practice these days.
All right, and then to cap things off, it's a little ways off, but the good news is you close with 2 home games. The bad news is it is Sanford and Mercer right there at the top of the standings. We know what kind of a challenge that's going to be. I want to move forward a little bit to that last home game in Senior Day. That's always a big, big thing. Talk a little bit about the seniors and hopefully the attention and the respect that they will get from the Wofford fans that day.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be awesome. I mean, it's going to be sad and exciting at the same time. But Jackie and Lily have meant so much to this program and to the college. I mean, they are more than just basketball players. They're involved on campus. They're leaders on campus. They participate in different clubs. And then they're obviously been team captains for a few years here for our program. And they've just been great ambassadors for our program in the school. Our younger players look up to them. They've shown the way and led the way. So I'm just tremendously blessed to have coached them, but even more blessed that they have been a part of my life for these 4 years, and they've just made a huge impact on our program.
Well said, and it'll give the fans a chance to give thanks and really kind of boost Wofford those last 2 regular season games. Final question for you. I talked about sitting behind the bench at Furman and watching the intensity, not only for you, but your coaching staff, and it dawned on me, how do you come down from that? What do you do to relax? Do you ever have a moment where you say, I've got to get away from basketball just maybe for an hour? Go home, I don't know, play tennis, garden, mow the lawn. What do you do to relax and clear your mind when you need to do that?
Well, that's important too, right? I'm more than a basketball coach as well. So I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a friend. So I love being outside. I love doing yard work. I'm still trying to get the yard of the month in my neighborhood. I can't quite get that, but I'm working hard at it. And Jenny and I, we have 3 great kids that still are active and play different sports. So we really enjoy watching them play. And, at that point, I take my coaching hat off. I'm just a fan there and love cheering on my kids. But we make sure we find time to relax and get away.
Well, you've got at least 3 weeks and hopefully longer than that before you have to really start worrying about that and get into a little bit of a break for you. But boy, this has been such a fun season to watch, and it's not over yet. We always appreciate your time. Have a great trip up the mountain, and we will check back with you in a couple of weeks right before the Southern Conference tournament.
Sounds great. Thanks, Jim.
All right. We appreciate all you watching, all advertisers as well. For Coach Jimmy Garrity, I'm Jim Noble. We will see you next time right before tourney time here on the Coach Jimmy Garrity Show.